One. Welcome. Whoop, whoop.
Hello.
I'm here. I am Marina Franklin, and I'm with my assistant and friend,
Evelyn Frick.
Welcome to our review of the Friends Like Us podcast. We do this every Saturday. And if you didn't know, yes, I have a podcast. It's called Friends Like Us, and it is available on all platforms. You can go to the link tree, which is in the description below. It's also on the ticker that's going past, as well as the reason we do this is to keep you posted and to engage with our audience and people who listen, friends of the show, friends of my comedy. And, we're going through a very difficult time. So why not? I have nothing else to do. I don't know, Evelyn, what did you do today?
This weekend has been kind of slow, but this morning my girlfriend and I did like a long distance breakfast date.
Bragging.
I know, my girlfriend and I, but no, it was really nice because we talk on the phone a lot, but we haven't kind of done anything recently that's been like, I don't know, like kind of date like. So yeah, it was nice to just kind of like make breakfast together, which is kind of like a very purposeful activity, and then just sit down and chat and start the day off that way. It was just like really nice and really uplifting.
Franklin Sloan says, "Happy Saturday."
Hello, Franklin Sloan.
So Franklin, we're talking with Evelyn about her day so far, and she has a girlfriend. So
the main takeaway.
That's the takeaway that I'm envious of.
Mm-hmm.
But that is great that you had a breakfast. Now, you made the breakfast?
Yeah. We had, we had different things, but I just had like a simple egg omelet. But yeah, it was just like nice and some tea, and just like sat down together.
And very chatted. British.
Yeah. And she's a grad student in the Midwest, but she's planning on moving to New York in the spring. So I know, it'll be really exciting when her program is done. So we've also been planning for that too, which has been something really nice to look forward to.
That is. And then it's also like, I wonder how many people will be moving into New York. I actually came into my building today and saw some people with boxes, and I'm like, are you leaving? Are you going?
Yeah.
Like, are you coming? Like, which one is it? What's going on? And I feel like, things are going to start opening up again in New York on April 2nd, right?
I think that's right. That sounds right to me.
The comedy clubs are going to open.
Wow. That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's a question to you, Franklin, since you're joining us. And thank you for joining us every Saturday, Franklin. You've been awesome. You're always here. You're always right on time, even when we start early. We start early because I know we say 3:00, but we start early so that everything is copacetic.
Yeah.
But here's my question. Franklin, are you ready to go inside places? And I'm going to ask you that too, Evelyn. Mm-hmm. Are you ready to go inside venues for entertainment?
Not at this moment. I mean, I haven't had the vaccine yet. I actually will be getting it towards the end of March because I'm eligible for it, and I have my appointment set. But even then, I don't think I'll feel ready yet. I mean, because part of it too is like the vaccine helps you like not get symptoms from it, but you can still spread, the virus even with the vaccine. So I think it's safest. I don't know why states are opening up. I think it's safest for people just to kind of lay low for another, few months or so. Because, Biden said by the end of May, we should have all, adults in the US can get the vaccine if they want it. So lay low until then, and then maybe we can start opening up.
So Franklin, sorry, I'm still have my little cough, so I have to drink every now and then. Sorry. It's almost gone though. Um, so Franklin is saying, "Hi Nino." See, Franklin is saying, "Until I get a shot, I will continue to be very cautious and wear my mask going out."
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I think that's awesome. I had my first shot, which I talked about last week. I'm
Yeah.
feeling, nothing except for I did feel a little pang in my arm
Mhm.
randomly. And I was like, is that you?
Yeah.
Is that you, vaccine? Just
Yeah.
hanging out in my body, going, hello. But other than that, nothing. I haven't been drowsy. I will say, like, I'm not ready to go inside anywhere, even after my second shot, which is
Yeah.
in a week, another week. Just because I think they're still not sure about a lot,
Yeah.
and that worries me. I will admit to being a little lax when I'm outside with my mask. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. When I'm walking around outside, I do take it down where I never did that before. But
Yeah.
that's usually when I'm by myself. Like if someone's like coming in my direction, I put it back up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a little reckless for me, but I need air in my lungs. My lungs have been
Yeah.
like I've been coughing like crazy. So I don't know about going inside.
Yeah, because it feels like right now, in terms of like the wave of the pandemic, it feels kind of like we're back to where we were over the summer, where like obviously it's still spreading, but it like isn't quite as bad. Like we hit a peak over like the holidays in the winter, and now we're kind of coming down. But obviously, like over the summer, once it started getting to fall and was getting, flu season, the holidays, it started to shoot back up again. So that's always a possibility that I think people need to, be aware of and be careful of.
And yeah, and there are still people who don't have the vaccine or who haven't had
Yeah.
the privilege to get it or who are still struggling to get it,
Yeah.
and that's why I may have posted like in my story a picture of me with the band-aid, but I
Hmm.
didn't put too much up because I just feel bad because I feel lucky that I got it. I don't want to. It was frustrating when I saw people getting it and I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
I felt that, and I really feel like, especially in the Black community, there really is this that's the that story kind of worked against us,
Yeah.
where they were saying that Black people have the right to fear the vaccine, and
Yeah.
then the media was using that, and people were using that to not give Black people the
Yeah.
vaccine, and it there was Black people were like, well, what about the ones who do want it? Can you find out who
Yeah.
those are, and can we do every effort to make sure that the communities that are disproportionately affected by this virus get the vaccine and
Yeah.
have the option?
Yeah, absolutely.
People were just like, "Ah, you don't want it.
Yeah.
You don't want it. All right." No, 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 that's not how this works.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm definitely interested in like Biden, said, like the plan is to get all adults the vaccine by the end of May, but I am interested. So like what plan does he have to make it more accessible to Black people and communities of color? Like I don't think it's enough to say that like, oh, all adults will get it by the end of May, but most likely like Black people or communities of color are going to get it last. Like I don't think, I mean, as things are right now, that's probably the way it would go, and I think that there needs to be a specific plan to change
Yeah.
that.
I mean, part of the plan, I guess, is that I don't know if this is his plan, but I do know that Johnson and Johnson is making it more accessible because they can carry it to the home.
Oh, interesting. I hadn't heard
Yeah.
that.
So that's making it more accessible and making it more for people who are homebound,
Yeah, that's good.
who can't move,
Yeah.
and people who are afraid. The Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine are both, they have to be refrigerated, whereas the Johnson and
Yeah.
Johnson does not. and it's
Yeah.
just one shot. So they can actually go to your house, which is what I was saying. I don't know if you remember, I was saying that from the very
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
It's like just knock on the door like you do with the census.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't get it. I was like, is there some type of it's always bureaucracy that
See, yeah.
it's always something. I mean, when they look back at history and there's going to be a kid in class going, I don't get it. They could have just gone to their door.
Yeah, it's like, yes, you're right.
I'm here to say, kid, in the future, you are right.
Yeah.
And I'm just as frustrated with you about that point. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's why they couldn't, though. It wasn't
Yeah.
that they didn't want, it was that they didn't have the refrigeration part.
Yeah.
I was looking at that vaccine shot and going, you the right temperature.
Yeah.
You sitting there on that table and she's having a really long speech.
Yeah.
Is it getting warm? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, because I mean, obviously these stories are like the exception to most things, or like to most people getting the vaccine. But I have seen like news stories of like, people like that doctor or that person in Wisconsin who like left out purposefully vaccine doses. And then some people got vaccinated with it. So they got, nothing in their arm, basically. Like stuff like that, like makes me nervous. But it is important to remember that stories like that are very much the exception.
I think those people should be like the lottery people who get
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
that happen to. Like, they should all be given like money, or they shouldn't have
Oh,
to pay
yeah.
taxes this
Yeah.
year.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely something to like they could definitely sue, and I'm sure they'd get damages of some sort because that's also like, in a way that I think that's trauma in that like this, you think you're safe and you're not.
Yeah. Walking around like you can't get it. I
Yeah.
mean, the other thing is this vaccine, while it does prevent you from dying from it,
Yeah.
you could still have symptoms actually. So
Yeah.
you could still, it just prevents you from actually being hospitalized and
Yeah.
dying. So
Yeah.
you don't want to try not to get it. But
Yeah.
there is light.
Yeah. No, I have like it has been very hopeful, I think, the last few weeks.
Sorry,
That's okay. For
that
me.
cough is so awful. I'm going to mute my mic for a second.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying that I think there's like hope at the end of the tunnel, and I've been feeling that the last few weeks that maybe this summer I don't want things to go back to normal right away, but maybe this summer can be like kind of normal-ish.
Yeah, we're hoping. There's a little small part of me that is, I know this is going to sound crazy. There's a small part of me that realized I really do like retirement.
Just like
I
being at home and
I do. The only part of it that I didn't like was the anxiety about the fact that something could kill me. You know, that
yeah.
was the only part of the retirement that I didn't like, was that I couldn't really enjoy it because I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I could also like die.
Yeah.
But I will say that, like, I don't know, like procrastination has been one of the things that they said is happening to people.
Yeah.
Are you having any procrastination? How are you doing?
Um, that's a good question. I mean, I think in some ways I have experienced procrastination where, like, typically I'm the kind of person where I like to get things done like right away and like have like schedule for myself. I'm very type A in that way. But I have noticed there are some things where like, oh, I don't have to do this today because tomorrow I'm doing absolutely nothing, so I can always do it tomorrow.
So
um,
funny. Yeah.
yeah, and especially I think with like writing and like being someone who writes a lot, I've noticed with other people who are writers, just like this time, like at the beginning of the pandemic, it's like, well, at least I can spend time writing, and then everyone has been like so focused on how awful everything has been that not a lot of people. I've gotten some writing done, but not as much as I say could have.
I know, right? You didn't. What is it? Norman Lear? Was it
Hmm.
Norman Lear? No, someone War and Peace. What was written? during the first plague?
King Lear. King Lear.
King Lear. I mean, Norman Lear. That's someone else. That's also good, but I always get things wrong. But the podcast has been going strong. I would
yeah.
say that has not stopped, not once.
No.
We kept that going. I mean, it's every week though. I'm realizing that things are opening because it's getting harder to book people because they're busy.
Yeah, no, I've definitely noticed that as well. Like at the beginning of the pandemic, I think we were able to get, I mean, we're still able to get really incredible guests, but we were able to get guests who we definitely like normally we wouldn't have been able to get because they weren't doing anything.
Yeah, they were just available. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. But the pandemic has taught us one thing is that we don't need a studio.
Yeah, that's true.
We can get people just like this.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
incredible. I mean, I'm a sound freak, so I do like
Yeah.
perfection in sound. So I do apologize if sometimes, someone on the opposite end may have like a microphone that's not great. That happens,
Yeah.
but not with us. Oh,
Yeah.
let's see. I got to put my glasses on because whatever that person just wrote, I cannot.
I have my contacts in and I don't know what that is.
Oh, Prince Magapa. Well, hi, Prince. Sani Bonani. Is that hello from where you're from?
Maybe. I think he's joined us before, I think from South Africa.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
but oh yeah, you're right. I think so. I thought
Yeah,
there was just a prince with no, was it the same prince?
maybe.
Are you a prince?
That'd be great.
Let's
Oh
show
yeah,
him
I
our
just looked
screen.
it up. It's a way to greet multiple people or respectfully greet an elder or stranger.
Well, I'll take it as a stranger. I don't want to be an elder.
Yeah, not
Okay, don't.
quite yet.
Sani Bonani.
That's really
Yay!
beautiful.
That is welcome. Yeah, it's 3:00, so everyone is just joining us now.
Yeah.
This is our official start time. Evelyn and I like to start early just in case,
Yeah.
because you never know.
You never know
Things,
with live streams.
things can happen. So
Yeah.
if you're just joining us now, just a little recap. Marina Franklin here, and this is my friend and assistant.
I'm Evelyn Frick.
And we like to talk every Saturday about the Friends Like Us podcast. We do a review and a preview, as well as we talk about topics. And then we give away free stuff. Sometimes we do. And we also have, because we have a comedy show coming up on March 18th.
Yep.
That may be my last virtual show. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Depends on how people act with this vaccine.
Yeah.
But it could be it could be your last chance to catch me for $5.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just $5. And I'm in my kitchen. And I would say, I don't know if I want to stop doing those virtual shows. I get so much new material from
Yeah.
doing it. So if you want to see me and the way I work out material and I tell stories, come to my virtual show. Frank Sloan, it was there the last time. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Franklin. And we also, the podcast here, Friends Like Us, it features women of color discussing trending topics. Last week, the episode we had was with Pat Brown and Vladimir Kamano.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about Black History Month and why we have it in February, which was something I did not know. Did you catch that, Evelyn?
I remember reading it in the article and hearing it, but I can't remember off the top of my head the reason.
Well, it's because February is like the coldest and shortest month.
Yeah.
No, that's not the real reason. It's because it was actually to alongside with commemorate Frederick Douglass.
Oh, that's right, because of his birthday is in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was initially just a week, and then
not until 1970.
Yeah, they turned it into a month.
A month.
Yeah.
1970. Is that just Frederick Douglass's birthday? Is also it's historical. It's a historical day about like freedom and so look, I'm not doing it justice right now. You got to listen to the episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
and hear me read it.
Yeah.
But also this week, the current episode we have is with Janice Adams,
Yeah.
Charla Lariston, and Holly Harper.
Yeah.
It's a great episode because Janice Adams, she actually met Martin Luther King when she was a child.
Wow.
Yeah, and she was in the first integrated school in New York City, which was traumatic.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes. Like grown women spitting on her
Oh my
as she's
God.
entering class. Yes, stuff like that. And she was also married to Max Roach, who's a
Okay.
very well-known percussionist. And she herself has started a virtual book reading
Yeah.
program that you can go to, mother and daughter, sister and sister. Check her out, janiceadams.com. We talk about that on the show, as well as we talk about Charlotte Lariston, her move to Canada.
Yeah. I didn't know that she had moved there.
Yeah, she moved to Canada. She chose to get out.
Yeah. It seemed her description of how things are in LA made it seem very understandable of why she wanted to leave.
Yeah, because that's why I named the show, the podcast, or the episode, "Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired."
Yeah.
Because I just thought it was interesting. I mean, we're all on that episode. We're all different ages,
Yeah.
and just our level of understanding of where we are is not that different, which can be kind of sad in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I mean, I think it was an important episode in just talking about. I was really interested in the conversation about like what Charla mentioned about both sidism in the U.S. media and how just like frustrating and unnecessary that is. So yeah, and the frustration that she voiced in that definitely seemed appropriate with the sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yes. Now, while you were saying that, I was reading here. Prince is he's explained the phrasing. It's a Zulu phrasing for hello, and it is the same prince.
Okay.
I mean, not the prince.
It's not the prince.
And he is not a prince. He says, unfortunately, I'm not a prince, but I am Prince. My mom decided she wants her own prince.
Oh, that's sweet.
What's up with adults spitting on kids? I know, Tamara. Tamara, you're so lovely to always be here for us.
Thank you.
Tamara. Thank you. Get her book, The Dead Are Arising.
Yeah.
She wrote it with her father. It's about Malcolm X. It's some stories. We're learning more about Malcolm X, stuff that you probably didn't know. And I know a lot of people really like that episode, Tamara, because they were really into learning about Malcolm X. So I applaud you.
Yeah.
I applaud you also for continuing your father's work.
Yeah. That's
huge. Important. Franklin Sloan is saying he cannot wait for the next virtual show. And Tamara says they're very intimate. Now, when she means intimate, that means it's like, it's like I'm talking to you, You get to see a little bit of the inside of the inside. You get to see my kitchen.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I think the energy of those shows are very different from like normal, like when you go to like a comedy club, which makes it like really, really incredible and really fun. And you kind of get to see, like, as like a young comic myself, I can watch you and see you like work, like coming up with new material and working how you work on new material in the moment, which is really, really interesting and cool.
Yeah, I have no process, Evelyn. Someone tried to interview me recently about my process.
Yeah.
And I was like, my process is no process.
Which in and of itself can be a process.
Not really. It's so instinctive. It's so instinctive in me. It's a process that I'm not aware of the process, probably.
Yeah.
But I am organic. I'm very organic on stage, which I do not recommend to a lot of people. That's not something you want to try.
Yeah.
I just I learned from the best, like Patrice O'Neal. Bill Burr once told me to get on stage. He goes, geez, just get up there and talk. Everything he just said was fucking funny. So, just say it. You're funny, so why not? And I used to do that. I used to go to the comic strip. By the way, one of the owners of the comic strip, who was also my manager, sad to say, just passed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Recently, yeah. Richie Tinkins was a manager to me and Jermaine Fowler, who is in Coming to America, which just yesterday opened on Amazon. It's so weird to say how it opened, the movie, but it was kind of bittersweet watching Jermaine, because I was so happy for him, but I also thought about like the times we kind of ran around with Richie Tinkins. Richie Tinkins, for those of you that don't know who he is, he used to manage Eddie Murphy.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was Bob. Forgetting Bob's last name right now, as I'm saying. It was Bob. I want to say Bob Katz, but Bob and Richie Tinkins, and we were Jermaine and I were kind of like the golden kids at the comic strip. We would dominate the schedule, like they put us on all the time, and Jermaine's like my little brother. And Richie Tinkins was always like, he used to point to me and go, "She's Eddie Murphy," and I was like, "I'm not." But thank you for thinking I am. But they really were molding Jermaine into like an Eddie Murphy, because they knew from working with Eddie Murphy that Jermaine had some of the similar energies, and it's just great to see. I'm sad that Richie didn't get to see him in this movie, but he was right. So that's what was sort of interesting when I watched the movie yesterday. I was like, if only Richie could have seen this.
Yeah,
he would have been like, I was right. But he was the main force in the comedy scene. Also, responsible for the comic strip, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
All of the greats worked there. Jerry Seinfeld, all of the greats worked there. I think Jerry Seinfeld, maybe same. Yeah. They all did. Right. They all did. So, oh my God. Let's see. Let me put my glasses back on. You guys are making me keep these on. I try not to have them on because they're so because see how this looks crazy. But let's see here. Oh, Tamara said thank you. You're welcome. Let's see. What else? I'm on CPT again. Mister, you are just fine. And Prince Magaba, the prince, is saying hi to Nina. Oh, are you guys? What's going on? We're fostering relationships here. Yeah. Okay, Robin is from Sweden, whose daughter is not with him today, or her, right, Robin? Frederick Douglass never knew his actual birthday because he was born into slavery. A few years before he died, he was told he had been born in February 1817, but that was not certain. Thanks for that. I would put it on the stream, but it may cover Evelyn's face. Yeah. And you're from Sweden. Thank you. Thank you for doing it. Knowing our American Black history.
Yeah.
Oh, Robin, you're going? Robin's already gone.
Yeah.
Hejda. Bye, Robin.
Bye.
Hi, Michael Clark. Hello. Saying hi, very funny lady. Scooby Doofus. I just love the name.
Yeah, it's a great name.
I saw Marina years ago, and I'm always a bit surprised she isn't more famous today. I love her stuff. It's like I'm not even here as you said it. You know what? Me too. But it's all good. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm happy with where I'm at. I got a lot of good stuff coming and going. I don't know if you saw me in the Patrice O'Neal documentary, as well as there's another documentary coming out called Hysterical.
Yeah.
And Evelyn, I'm going to take this off your face. It was too much. Evelyn, there is a billboard with the, they did like a cartoon of.
Yeah, it's a great poster.
And is it animated? Is that what you call it?
I think so. Yeah.
and it's up on a billboard somewhere in Los Angeles.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
Mm. It's going to be in the FX network.
That's
So
great.
check that out. We're going to be doing a lot of press. It's going to be on FX. It's called Hysterical.
Yeah.
Because we're hysterical. And it's great. And hey, you know what? Who knows what can happen? You never know. Maybe next week I can become the next Madonna or something. I don't know. Diana Ross.
Wow.
No, that's too much.
Well, I like some people that didn't get famous until later.
I always thought that would be a good show. Why didn't this person become a huge star? What do you guys think about that? Is that a question that I've been asked that several times about myself, and then I've also been asked that about Patrice O'Neal one time when I was in Austin, Texas. An Uber driver had asked me, how come he didn't become like a famous? And I was like, he was on his way.
Yeah.
You know, some people's just path is just very long or different.
Yeah.
And also the idea of fame. I don't know. If you were to define it, if you asked Britney Spears, she'd probably say she didn't want it.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. Successful and fame, those are two different things. And also, I think the way you think about what fame is. So but bigger and being more known, I always like to get the story out to more people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like when someone doesn't know about a talent, I'm always surprised why that is. Let's see what people are saying. Same thing with boxer Sonny Liston. He never knew his birthday. He was born in a field. Okay, we're still talking about Frederick Douglass. Wow. I wonder if there's a way to tell a person's age like you do with cats.
What do you do with cats?
You look at their teeth.
Oh, I'm sure there must be.
Yeah, because when they look at fossils, they can know from the bones like how old.
Dating, I think. Yeah,
has to be.
Yeah, there has to be somewhere.
Okay, now Tamara's asking the question that I don't know if I should answer. How was Coming to America 2? Okay, so I gotta take off my glasses for this one.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna honestly say. Although I love seeing the reunion with everyone that I know, and everyone was individually exceptional, I saw like some script problems. But it was fun. It was fun to see Sexual Chocolate come back, some of the characters coming back. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there, and I think that should say everything. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it yet. I've been planning on watching it. I think sometime in the next few days. Yeah, I am interested to see. I think it's like with stuff like that, it's so hard because Coming to America is like such a classic, like Eddie Murphy film, and is so beloved that it's like with a sequel, it's like so hard to like capture that again. But yeah, no, I am excited to see it. I'm also excited to see Leslie Jones's character and what she does. Funny. She's so funny.
So funny. I like how she's coming into her own. She's just settling into this character. I love it.
Yeah.
Scooby Doofus didn't. I just love saying. Scooby Doofus saying, "I didn't expect you to read it. Sorry." Yikes. I'm reading it as well as I think I just love seeing your name on our screen. Scooby Doofus.
That's funny.
Yeah. Let's see what else. It is a hard one though to redo.
Yeah.
I mean, and also I think with Eddie Murphy, I personally would have wanted to see a little bit more Eddie Murphy. That's all.
Okay.
Oh, Scooby Doofus says, look, I'm just keep putting up Scooby Doofus. Sam Jackson didn't do his first movie till he was 45 or 50. Well, I mean, well, hello.
Yeah.
I'm neither one of those ages, huh? Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's funny. I look back. It's all luck as far as being a star. It's all luck
Mm,
and who you know and lining up things in the right way. But
yeah.
what I appreciate right now is that I'm still able to get out there, whereas a lot of comics aren't.
Yeah, that's so
So,
true.
when are you coming over, Michael Clark? When are you Kai? When are you coming over to the UK? When the virus is dead,
Yeah.
that's probably when. Um, and I don't know. I dated a guy from the UK, and it may trigger me going over. I don't know. He wasn't that good, but
Mm,
that's not saying all of you guys are bad. But
yeah.
I am really upset about how the UK is handling Meghan Markle. What do you think about that,
Oh,
Evelyn?
that's made me so mad the
Go
last
yeah,
few
go girl.
days. Yeah, no, I mean, she like obviously I do not know her or like I just know her from the press. But she seems like a lovely person that the British press is just very intent on smearing. For I mean, besides like the racist angle, which could just be they're doing it because they're racist. I can't fathom why. Like this whole like looking into bullying seems just very I don't know, it seems very constructed and very contrived. Like they're just looking for reasons to.
Hello. What about Andrew?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Prince Andrew, there's, I'm sure, a lot of stuff going on there. And just from what I've read and like seen in the media, like the royal family themselves don't seem like particularly nice people. So I mean, maybe they should be looking into bullying there.
They shoot those deer or whatever they're called. They're
Uh,
not deer. They do that sport that it's a rich person's sport where they have
yeah.
trophies. They kill animals.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel bad saying it because it seems like he's sick, but Prince Philip seems like a terrible person.
He drove his car and he hit like a child and his mother, and
Yeah.
they didn't take the keys away.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, not surprising. Yeah, I mean, it seems particularly like I don't know, mean too, just because like they're no longer like a part of the royal family anymore, and they're just trying to like live their lives.
They're just trying to live their lives. And I also don't want to hear about any of them anymore,
Well,
by the
yeah,
way.
that's
I don't even
true.
want to hear about Megan anymore. I don't want to hear about I just want like let her live her life and have her baby and be all
Yeah,
happy. And you
yeah,
guys be all over there having sipping your tea and being all royal and stuff.
yeah,
You know? And like and I am honest, like well like I'm not honest, but I will be honest about this part.
yeah.
I do love the crown. I am obsessed with
Oh
the
yeah, The Crown was
royal
great.
family. I do like sort of like wonder what that lifestyle is like to be like
Yeah,
trapped in that type of isolation. I mean that is what it is. It's like
yeah,
royal isolation and the monarchy and they don't really what do they do?
yeah. No, yeah. The thing, like, I think they're really
That Michael is
interesting to.
going in. I haven't looked at his comments.
They're really interesting to watch. The thing that, like, if I were a British citizen, would make me angry is it costs the British people so much money to like uphold their lifestyle.
Oh, they're still talking about famous stuff. Oh, they're talking about teeth aging. Oh my god, they're going in.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Well, first I'll say they said that I don't age, which I love.
Yeah.
Um, w- w- uh, yeah, Scooby Doofus. I want a special. Another one. I agree that fame and success are two different things. Thank you, Nina. Do you're absolutely right. C2A2 remind me just oh Coming to America too reminded me just how dang funny Arsenio Hall is funny. You're right.
Yeah, he is really funny.
Scoopy Doofus. You're right. Mr. I don't want to be famous, but I am good with all the benefits of being behind the scenes of famous. Yeah, that's true. You want to
Yeah.
be the driver? You want to drive me around, Mister? Nobody bothers the composer of the film Ten Commandments. Oh, you really went there.
Yeah.
I mean, you went to the film of the Ten Commandments. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a reach.
Yeah.
You really went there, Mister. Tamara, I will watch tonight. Yeah, Tamara, slip me a DM about what's your thoughts. Mr. says, I don't think teeth aging would be effective. Have you ever been to the South? None of them down there have. Ooh. We'll put that up.
Yeah.
Well, I think they do use teeth in cats.
Yeah.
And then Mr. like just responded. They prejudiced as fuck. They're definitely doing it because they're racist. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, Tamara's laughing at Mr. too. Miss British tabloids press is pretty awful. Okay, Scooby Doofus. It's all just smear and bullying. Before Meghan, everybody got it. Oh, okay.
Mm.
Fox hunting? No, it wasn't fox hunting. And hi, Venus boys. Good to see you here again. I think it was called, I forget. I got to get the name of what those things are. They look like deer, but they're the big ones.
Oh, so like a stag?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Evelyn.
Yeah, of course.
Stag hunting.
Yeah, it's really cruel.
So cruel. And I have to say, like, there, you know what's interesting? There's one movie about the Queen, and you could tell that they were asked to not portray the family as killing the stag because, or it was the way I forgot which different movies show the Queen differently. And they have her about to shoot. They're looking for the stag, and she goes, "Go away!" Like it's like she's like this person who doesn't want to shoot the stag. She's like, "Go, go, go."
Is that the one with Helen Mirren?
Yes.
Who plays the Queen? Yeah.
And that's such a lie.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, no, that's not who she was. She shot them.
Yeah.
She wasn't like run along. It was like trying to make her look like she's this.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting because Peter Morgan, the writer who did, I think that one's called The Queen, he also writes The Crown. So maybe his opinion has changed over the years. I don't know. But yeah, it is really interesting to see portrayals of the royal family.
Speaking of portrayals that have changed over time, what do you think about Dr. Seuss and?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think all the Republicans being like, he's canceled, all this stuff is just such a waste of time. It's also like entirely not true. I mean, I think it's important that books that, first of all, those 6 books, like no one's even heard of those books before. Like I had never heard of those books before. And if they have racist portrayals in them, yeah, like we should not publish those books anymore. But people saying like, oh, you've canceled Dr. Seuss, like they're only taking those books out of print. They're not taking like Horton Hears a Who or The Cat in the Hat out of print. So it's like people will still be able to read Dr. Seuss if they want to. But I do think it is important, like even if you have books like, for example, like Dr. Seuss's The Lorax is like about, protecting the environment and, not, cutting down trees and like all this stuff. So I think it's important to recognize, well, while a person can write or do things that are, good, there can also be things that are bad. And a lot of American history has been upholding people without being critical of the bad things that they have done. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's important to like acknowledge those things, and important that books that could potentially be harmful to children, like if there's racist portrayal, like you don't want a small Black child to read that and then like internalize it and, carry that with them.
It's all about education. It's always an opportunity to teach. So while you don't want them in the hands of someone who doesn't understand it, you do want them to be still there so you could teach them why these things used to be. You can't erase history. You can't erase racism. You can't erase history. You can't erase that. That's who Dr. I want to know
Yeah.
what Dr. Seuss wrote. I
Yeah.
want to see those books. I want to be able to discuss those books in class, and I would
Yeah.
love to have that conversation with, if I did have a child, which maybe
Yeah.
that's why I don't have a child, to have that conversation and go, you see how they used to portray us.
Yeah.
On the Turner Classic Movie Channel this week, which I
Mhm.
am a fan of the Turner Classic Movie Channel. I've been watching a lot of Doris Day lately.
Oh, nice.
Um, and oh my God, Evelyn, there was so much touching.
Oh, yeah.
They were really like, like in the movie, like she's like trying to sing and they're like grabbing on her and
Oh,
like trying to kiss her and stuff. And I, I mean, you can look at some of these movies have to stay so
yeah.
that we can look at the beginnings of also behavior. There's a movie
Yeah.
with Woody Allen where it was like playing at the same time that the HBO documentary is going on.
Yeah.
And it's like blowing my mind.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 episodes of the documentary, and it is, yeah, like, looking back on, like, his career and with these allegations, it's like, oh, it's, like, so obvious, like, he's telling us who he is.
Every artist always does.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think what we have to separate is the art from the artist. And we
Mhm.
have to know that the person who is creating art has a dysfunction,
Mhm.
usually. And they are telling us what it is.
Yeah.
And maybe you should look at that and then going, I'm not going to hang out with you in a dark alley anywhere soon, anytime soon. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like a lot of art tells us the dysfunction of the artist,
Just yeah.
and that is their way of expressing in their way. I mean, it's like it's sad, but it's true.
Mhm. Yeah.
If you erase
Absolutely.
it, you can't study it, you can't fix it. You know,
Yeah.
and I would argue like Woody Allen movies should still be out there. You should still watch them. I just think you
Yeah.
got to know who this person is, and you cannot
Yeah.
put them on a pedestal.
Oh, no.
And you definitely, I mean, whew, I don't know. The documentary is so disturbing.
It's really disturbing. I mean, it's actually really interesting because watching that, it reminded me of the conversation with Drew Dixon that we had a few weeks ago. Because at least for me, like being Jewish, like Woody Allen for so many like decades really kind of represented like the American Jewish experience for Jews, and I think also for people who aren't Jewish. And like for example, like the movie Radio Days is like a really like it really
Mhm.
kind of speaks to like growing up as like a young Jewish person in New York and in America. And so you kind of have to like reckon with like how this person like wow this person like is like a genius in their writing and is really good at what they do, but at the same time like they're also like doing horrible things.
People allowed it,
Oh yeah.
and that's the thing. It's like you got to take away the putting. Hollywood was letting people just do whatever they want because they're
Yeah.
brilliant. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
look at what they've created and take a deeper look at what that is and what that means.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I have to say though, I think that this is the ugly truth, right? Is
Mhm.
that there will probably be less art
Yeah. Yeah, I think
because
so.
the truly dysfunction person is sometimes the most brilliant and artist at the same time.
Yeah.
We just have to make a decision as to whether we want it or not. I would
Yeah.
say I don't want to ban anything. Huckleberry Finn, by the way, this person wrote this. Okay,
Mhm.
let's see, Mister. They're still going in about the royalty. They're not royalty. They're just some people who. I haven't heard from Michael since we started talking about the royalty. Is he
Yeah, I
gone?
think we might
Are
have
you
left.
mad? Are you mad at us, Michael? Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Oh, they're going out in at each other. Ooh, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Yeah, Michael's silent.
Yeah.
How often do you see the king of Thailand in the media outside of? Okay. Let's see. Meanwhile, I'm going to hang out at GameStops, hoping that Marina notices me. I'm going to play Fortnite right after this. Thank you, Nina Do. The Drew Dixon episode was so powerful. Thank you. Yeah, it was, and
Yeah.
it's interesting too because you see how right now we could talk about like George Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, and yet we are not talking about Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
You know, these are like her documentary is out right now, and like I heard nothing about Russell Simmons.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Nothing. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what's going on. I make games, and Fortnite was the last game I worked on. What?
Scooby Doofus.
Scooby Doofus. Tell more.
Yeah.
So I wanted to read about Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, yeah.
They said, I see chicken and watermelon. I gotta put my glasses back on so I don't just say chicken and water. Okay, this is one. I didn't like it in school being forced to read Huckleberry Finn out loud. You know how many times they say racist stuff in that book? Okay, true story, Mister. I loved Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should be forced to read anything in school. I agree with you
Mhm.
there. But I will say that as a kid, I saw it for what it was,
Mhm.
and I found some moments in that story that spoke to me that had nothing to do with color. That was
Mhm.
just me at my age. Maybe I was wrong, but I still look back at it. It was the reason I became. I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this. I know black people are going to come from my black ass on this one, but it was the reason I became an actor.
Mm.
Huckleberry Finn. I did a prose speech, and it was Huckleberry Finn, and I made it into a speech, and I turned it around as I was Huckleberry, saying the
Oh.
lines, and I won several awards. I
Mm.
don't know, maybe it's because white people were like, "Does she know?" But
Yeah.
there were several themes in Huckleberry Finn that stood out outside of the language.
Mm.
Um, and that the time that it was the time that it was in. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know if I'm saying it perfectly, but I also watched Gone with the Wind this week on
Mm.
Turner Classic Movie Channel, and my God,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a rape scene,
Yeah.
you know, and she's wakes up the next morning. Scarlett is like, I mean, there's so much racist
Yeah.
stereotype. But the woman, what I love about what the Turner Classic Movie Channel is there's a black woman on that channel. She's
Mhm.
more eloquent than I am about this. She
Yeah.
knows how to put it into words, but she says, you also can't erase those actors who
Yeah.
had to come through that time and be actors and still find their way.
Yeah.
Like Butterfly McQueen, you know, these are actors who had to navigate during a time when they didn't have the option.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to not celebrate those black actors because of
Yeah.
Gone with the Wind being what it was.
Yeah.
You got to watch this woman. I would love to have her on the podcast, by the way.
Oh, sure.
I don't have her name, of course. I got to get her name before I invite her. That's a horrible invite. I don't know your name, but you're great on Turner Classic Movie, and you put things so well in the ways that I don't know, but I love to talk to you about it.
Mhm.
You know, because she breaks it down. She breaks down like, you know, the history, the time, what it represents, the movie, the ability to shoot a movie like that.
Yeah.
There's so much. It's
Yeah.
like kind of like it tells of a time that I wasn't around.
Yeah.
As far as how it was made, kind of like I want to say Saturday Night Fever or Dance Fever.
Mm. Yeah.
Was it Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta?
I think I think that's right.
Yeah, it represents the time so well.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but have you seen Gone with the Wind?
I haven't.
What?
I know. I mean, it's interesting. I actually really do like Turner Classic Movies as well. I mean, I know the basic story.
Mhm.
I think like growing up, my parents like they're like, oh, Gone with the Wind is like it's a classic movie, but also like I mean, they knew my parents were always very cognizant of like making sure that like my sister and I like knew about history, but they're also like, we don't think they need to see that film. Um, because of I think because of like the harmful stereotypes. But yeah, I mean, I think you do make a good point. Like I can't remember the actress's name, but didn't the first like
Vivian Lee.
um well but didn't the first black woman to win an Oscar, didn't she win it from wasn't it from Gone with the Wind?
I want to say Butterfly McQueen. I could be saying it
That
wrong.
sounds right.
Those of you on here probably know the name. I think it's Butterfly McQueen. I could be wrong. Or Hattie McDaniels. Sorry,
Mm.
Hattie McDaniels.
Yeah.
I like the cartoon Huckleberry Finn, not the book. Mister. Not personally, if you know what I mean. I think Mark Twain was period racist, not personally, if you know what I mean. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Scooby Doofus. That
Yeah.
was not a doofus comment whatsoever.
Not at all.
Brilliant. Uh let's see, Mr. Oh, they're talking to each other.
Mhm.
I wrote Mr. I read Huckleberry Finn in school. It was an all black school with black teachers that supplemented the book with history to put it
Ooh.
into perspective. That's all you have to do. That's all I'm saying is like put that stuff into perspective. Don't just leave it.
Yeah.
That's the
'Cause
thing you
I
can't do.
Yeah, because I've also like heard of like publications of Huckleberry Finn that have come out that have completely removed the N word, which I think is like I think that's not good because then that makes people think that the like for anyone who would come upon Huckleberry Finn, on their own, that would make them think, oh, they wouldn't know that the N word was used in it. Um,
Mark Farrell says last night Psycho. There was offensive what was offensive in Psycho? Did you see Psycho, Evelyn?
yeah, oh, I love Alfred Hitchcock. I That's a good question. I haven't seen it in a while. I do know. I think he was saying it was on Turner Classic Movies last night. Huh.
I can't remember. Was there an Asian character?
Oh,
I
there
think
might
there's
have
I
been.
think there was an Asian character that comes in very stereotypical. I mean, this all this stuff makes me go, "Oh my god." I mean,
Yeah,
I used to watch all this stuff and just be like my friends and I used to just laugh. We're like, "Look how they just did us all wrong." I mean, it used to be just you could laugh at this stuff
yeah,
and that was your way of cathartically acknowledging how history was fucked up.
yeah,
Now it's like, "No, we cannot have it."
yeah,
It's like, no, 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 no. You got to still have it. You got because you can't. Stuff was bad, man. You got to acknowledge it. Oh,
yeah.
okay. Ugh, these awful glasses. Mr. says, "Lucky you. My school was predominantly white teachers who thought they could relate to me by reciting the lyrics. Oh, to Baby Got Back. Oh my god."
Yeah.
Tamara says, "I recommend Puddinghead Wilson or Twain's essays."
Mm.
Yes. I got to check that out. Yeah, Hattie Daniel and Butterfly McQueen is great. Read up on her. Thank you,
Yeah.
Venus. Wow, people are really we haven't even gotten to our reviews yet.
I know.
I think I brought up some really good. I think Alfred Hitchcock's
Oh,
Oh,
Psycho. Yeah.
phobic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arian. I haven't seen that name on our
No, I haven't
thank you for
either.
bringing that up, Arian Tong. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. I love what Turner Classic Movie has you know, you talk about like taking a situation and not being defensive, right?
Yeah.
Like you could look at these ideas of cancel culture and
Hmm.
you could get defensive about it, or you couldn't adequately explain what you need to do to improve,
Yeah.
which the Turner Classic Movie Channel did. I mean, and I love
Yeah.
they have a black woman there explaining, not just white men talking.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah.
I'm good with knocking down statues and putting them in museums. I was gonna knock down a statue the other day because it
Really?
was just blocking the sun. I was like, "You're sort of like preventing me from getting the vitamin D that I need
Yeah.
in this area." I was above 110th Street, Morningside Heights, and I was like, "Why are
Mm.
you here? Who are you?
Yeah.
What did you do?" Okay, but I'm with you on the statues. Okay, I think I'm forgetting some people here. Sorry if I'm not. You guys are going so fast.
I know. I love the conversation.
We ate courses dressed like his mom. Oh. In Psycho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I think they're like
Uh,
talking about the person it was based on.
I like how they are using projections and painting over the statues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing with statues is a little different than like books and
Yeah.
stuff because like a statue is sort of like representing America and in places, monuments, things that we should be looking up to. It's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Because in
Take
a
that
lot of, like, especially in a lot of
down.
places, those statues are meant to symbolize that they're like great, good people, which a lot of statues of, say, like Confederates weren't. They were not.
I do have to say this thing about Scarlett O'Hara though that I was going to say, and then we'll move on because
Yeah.
I have to be honest here. My mother loved Gone with the Wind,
Mm.
and I look back at that and I go, I'm horrified a little bit, and then I'm like, did that affect my own view of Gone with the Wind? I mean,
Mm.
but I know that Gone with the Wind was also about a woman's fantasy with men,
Yeah.
like that. I think she took pulled out of it somehow. And I remember
Mm.
my mother going, "Tomorrow is another day," and I was like, "No, no, you need to divorce his ass." Okay, but that's a whole different story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, but there's a scene where right after, like, they black out when he rapes her
Yeah.
on the stairs or whatever, and she wakes up the next morning, and it's like she's
Oh
like it's the
man.
best sex she's ever had. But they don't say it, but I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh my god! I mean, that's why I actually love seeing these movies to just
Yeah.
see just how far we've progressed with
Yeah.
what men how men should treat us.
Mhm.
I mean, it's crazy just watching these movies. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
women back then, what they had to deal with so much, and as an
Yeah.
actress to play out that scene.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like important. Like keeping these things around is important for viewing or reading with a critical lens, not just taking things at face value for what they are.
Absolutely, you said it the best, Evelyn.
Mm,
Now
well,
we'll
thank
go to
you.
some reviews, and we're gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna look over these.
Yeah.
People are chatting it up in the chat room, boy.
Oh,
Love it.
absolutely. Okay. Let me
Of course,
bring
on
up.
Facebook, people are going crazy. We still can't talk to them for some
Mm,
reason.
oh,
So
yeah.
sorry.
So one review we got on Twitter from Alma Hassoun said, "My best dishes have been prepared while listening to your beautiful podcast. Your voices have given me very nice company over the past few months. Have learned a lot from you and your guests about life in the USA. Thank you." So that was cool, and I think
That was cool.
we've definitely been reaching a lot of international listeners recently. So that was in line with that. And then let me see. Oh, so I pulled. This isn't a new review, but this is a review from Apple Podcasts from Shy, and it says, I would love to see these discussions live on TV. I love the conversation and topics and energy of the host and guests. Very funny, smart, and real conversations like I have with my friends. And the title of the review is Great. This should be a talk show. Which I thought was also very, we talked about The View this week on the episode. So that made me think of that. And then let's see. I had pulled one other one. Oh, it was just I have this on my phone. People really responded on Instagram to the clip that I posted of Charla Lariston. Um, so we had a few previous friends of the show who commented on it. We had Rob Lee Davis, as well as Mark Theobald, that commented on that video. Rob Lee Davis was just the clapping emoji, and Mark Theobald commented "Charla!" exclamation point. But then we had a listener, Miss All Boogie, who just commented "Yes, yes, yes, yes." And the clip was Charla was talking about Meghan McCain and how in U.S. media there's this idea that we have to present both sides of the argument, even if or both sides of something, even if the other side of something is like disrespecting human life or whatever with conservatives and people really responded to Charlotte's point.
Yeah, it's such a good point because I often do wonder why we give for entertainment value. We
Yeah.
we I do believe that you do have to talk to people who don't necessarily have your
Hmm.
point of view.
Yeah.
But as of right now, some of those point of views we're entertaining for entertainment purposes. It's not.
Yeah,
It's different.
absolutely.
It's different. I mean,
Yeah. It's
you
not you're
know,
not getting like um I don't know, you're not really getting like a reasonable, rational other side of an argument. And I totally agree, like with Meghan McCain particularly. Like I've seen like apparently like on The View sometimes she'll have just kind of like ridiculous hairstyles and people like
notice
will post people have like posted about it on Twitter, kind of joking like, oh, her hairstylist must like hate her and all this stuff. But I don't think the entertainment value that we get out of making fun of her is worth like letting her speak for the amount of time that she gets on The View.
she makes some points sometimes though that are
Yeah.
like really this is what's baffling. Every
Hmm.
now and then she'll make a very strong point that I agree with and she's very passionate about it.
Yeah.
Janice said that on the show. And then
Yeah.
she'll go and say something so completely
Yeah.
like almost in defense of even the man who was not nice to her father.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what are you defending? Or are you making a point because that's on your notepad?
Yeah, that's
Because you're
true.
contradicting almost some of the good points that you've made. She makes some really good points sometimes that are like shocking
Yeah.
about racism and about
Mm.
like she'll say even like I don't like cancel culture, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And she'll have like sort of a mixed sort of point of view, but then I'm like, I think she specifically does have to take the contrary point of view, and she knows
Yeah.
that. She goes in on it, and sometimes she sounds very bratty,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and it's like, I think they exploit it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because it does make good TV.
Hmm. Yeah.
Her hairstyles have been fascinating to me because a lot of times I'm looking and I'm like, it's almost like when you play video games and
Hmm.
you could get like a choice of hair.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I feel like someone's playing with her costume every day, like I would with
Yeah.
the uh, I don't know what you call them. And someone on here is Fortnite. What do you call it? Doppelganger? I don't know what you call it, but in the video game, you get to choose your hairstyle.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I'm like, what's going on with her?
Yeah, I know. And like it makes her like seem like when she makes points that are bad, it makes her seem like even more kind of crazy. Um, and then I think probably takes away from her credibility when she makes a point that's good.
Avatar. That's what it's
Mm,
called. Avatar.
yeah.
There are better. Oh, Scooby Doo. There are better and smarter Republicans they could have on the show instead of Miss McCain, but she's got that name. Yeah,
Mm.
you're right. They could, but it doesn't also make for good TV.
Yeah, that's true.
They want someone. They don't want people to be agreeing, and that is what Charlotte was talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, we can't have it both ways. We can't have good TV.
Yeah.
If people agreed,
That wouldn't be interesting.
I mean, let's all be honest. Like, we have to really ask society. Society, what do you want? Do
Yeah.
you really want us to bridge the gap, come across the aisle?
Yeah.
Is that good for you as a TV show, Society? Anyway, I think we should get out of here, Evelyn. I
Yeah.
think you've done such a great job today. You
Yeah.
always do a great job, Evelyn.
Oh, thank you.
Can we all give a hands
Oh,
up, or this
snaps.
Evelyn?
Thank
Give us
you.
some hands to Evelyn. She does such a great job. The
Thank
last
you.
Airbender was that. That sounds crazy. And I just want to say, I appreciate you for always coming here every Saturday. We do this at 3:00. We start a little early. We start 15 minutes early because so it can sync up with my Facebook page. If you're on my
Yeah.
Facebook page, go to my YouTube channel if you want to chat with us because it doesn't work on the Facebook page. Sorry.
Yeah. And we'd love to hear
Um,
from you.
yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Also, there's still merch available, as you can see. Evelyn is
Yeah.
wearing the Friends Like Us t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am wearing the hoodie.
Yeah.
Okay, and we also have face masks and we have coffee mugs, and we will get them to you. That's me,
Mhm.
actually. I actually have a little UPS man who comes to my house and says, I'm downstairs to pick up the packages. And they've gotten to know me. The USPS guy is like, you usually have it in the mailbox. Are you coming to meet me? Hello. So
Aw.
I love doing this. It's what I do on a Friday now. I send out
Yeah.
packages, but get acquainted with the podcast, Friends Like Us.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you sort of what's going on with it here, and maybe not, but listen to the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
Maybe you
and make sure
can
to leave us a review on Apple Podcast.
just
Apple
belch
Podcast, and
mid sentence.
we love to read it.
I was like belching mid. I was like, listen to the show. Also, this week coming up, we have Von DiCarlo talking about the Patrice O'Neill documentary.
Yeah.
So it's a really great one because you will kind of get an insight into that process
Yeah.
of how they got it made and a little bit more insight into Patrice O'Neill. So it's a good episode. Also
Oh,
with
that's great.
Dean Edwards is there as well from They Ready.
Yeah.
And Dean is we're talking about Tiffany Haddish and how she gave back and what
That's
that
great.
means, having a billboard up with, Patrice O'Neill had a billboard up the same time They
Wow.
Ready came up and what that means. And there's a lot of, I would say there's some crying on that show.
Wow.
It's a deep one. It's a deep one because we're talking about, just like I was talking about with Hattie McDaniel.
Yeah.
This industry is not easy for persons of color and what we have to navigate and how we have to still show up and be
Yeah.
graceful and have a smile and because we love it so much. So
Yeah.
it's a great episode to listen to. Please check it out. It's available on that link tree in the bio and
Yeah.
on all platforms. Also on March 18th, I will have my first virtual comedy show, which is really my third one. Come and
Yeah.
see me there. It may be my last one. Things are opening up, so don't miss it. And because you are so great to be here, and if you don't have tickets yet, send us an email at Marina Live Comedy. I'm going to put it in the chat here.
Yeah.
Marina Live Comedy at gmail.com. Uh-oh. If you email us there, we will get you free tickets to that show.
Yeah.
That's because we really appreciate the fact that you join us here and you chat with us on this Saturday.
Yeah.
And we just, I think that's enough. I think I've said enough. Evelyn, you want to say anything?
Let me think. Yeah, I mean, definitely come to the show on March 18th. Very
Evelyn's going to be
exciting.
there.
Yeah, I'll be there. You'll definitely see me. I may tell jokes. Yeah, no, thanks. And thanks to everyone who came to the live stream today. We love chatting with you.
Yeah, we're featuring some new comics too. Suba Gerwal
Oh, that's great.
is going to be on that show.
She's so funny.
She is funny.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have her. Uh-oh. There's someone crying? Oh, where he starts to cry. Yeah, everyone cries when we talk about Patrice. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Can't help it. Can't help it. And I do want to. I cannot. I would be remiss if I did not mention Erica Watson, who we
Yeah.
lost. Um, you know, last week as we were recording that show. We just took a moment to say how much we were affected. I was affected by it.
Yeah.
You know, such a great talent, such a sweet, beautiful person, energy, all around spirit. Just
Yeah.
from the moment I met Erica Watson in New York City, you can be in a moment with so many people who are competing with you for whatever. And Erica was just one of those persons who would come up to you and take you out of all of that.
Yeah.
She didn't have that in her. She was just a beautiful. I'm gonna miss her, and
Yeah.
that's what makes this time really tough. If you don't know who Erica Watson is, just look her up and get familiar with her work,
Yeah.
and just to show her family some love and some support right now is probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we had her on Friends Like Us. We have a couple episodes that thankfully I was able to have her on and talk to her.
Yeah.
And you can go back and listen to those if you just want to get to know her more.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to thank you for joining us today on Saturday. We love doing this. We'll be back next Saturday. Okay. Don't forget to wear your mask,
Hmm.
wash your hands, get vaccinated, no
Yeah.
matter which vaccine it is.
Hmm.
Get that shot, baby. Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
You know that we got one thumbs up from the last post. That's probably this is someone racist. They just like go and put a thumbs down on our stuff.
Rude.
One person put a thumbs down. We'll get that person.
So, yeah.
Fine. All right. Bye, guys. You guys are
Bye.
awesome. Oh, I can't.